Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is Gemma. I'm a single mom to 2 teens, and here we discuss all things money, budgeting, finances, food prepping, batch cooking, basically just getting through life and trying to survive. So today I need to get our meal plan done for the week. I've already had the food shop delivered. A lot of the meals that we're going for this week are not kind of cook early type meals, so I don't need to do a whole ton of cooking today, which is great. What I do want to do today though is we are running really low on homemade bagels, so I'm going to be making some of those, and I also want to make some chocolate chip pancakes because those are really great in the freezer for breakfast, especially at the minute where it's getting a bit cooler. Both the kids are out super early. This coming week, my youngest has got his mock GCSE exams as well, so he's leaving the house even earlier to do the revision sessions before school. So having those in the freezer that I know that the kids are going to love. Normally I can't make them fast enough because, you know, they just end up going. So having those in the freezer that I know that they can just grab out and warm up and then head out the door is really handy at the minute. So we'll make those. That will be at the end of this video. So the food shop I've just had delivered was from Tesco's and it cost £99. But not all of that is like food shopping. So my daughter on next weekend turns 18. So £10 of that 99 was for a pack of ciders that she'd asked me to get. And it's so funny to me, this generation, because I feel like as an older millennial, like obviously we had the binge drinking culture, and it's so different what the young ones drink nowadays. It's so different. Like my daughter, I mean, she doesn't really drink very often. She's not like trying to go out partying, although she did go out last weekend to her first party in the city centre at a bar, and yeah, they didn't ask for ID, which I was really surprised about. I thought they asked for ID from everyone nowadays, but apparently not. But she had a good time. She was very sensible, like she didn't come back drunk or anything. But yeah, but the culture difference is so weird. I remember when I was her age, we were drinking like bottles of Hooch and Bacardi Breezer. But no, her tipple of choice is fruity cider. So £10 of it was that. And then the Ben & Jerry's was on offer. And I made the mistake of doing my food shop with my daughter sitting next to me, because I was like, ooh, shall I get some? Because it's really, I mean, it's expensive when it's on offer, but it's so good, isn't it? So I said, shall I get some? And she, of course, was like, yeah, do it. She's like that little devil on your shoulder, like, you buy it. So I got a chocolate brownie one, because that's the one that I like. And then the kids like the cookie dough. And then it was suggested to me that maybe I get another cookie dough and then we all have one each. And then we can kind of, like, you get your own tub, and then if you eat it quickly, you eat it quickly. If you drag it out, you drag it out. But that's your tub to do with what you please. So, yeah, I'm so easily influenced. It's unreal. So we ended up getting that. So actually take off that and then some of the cleaning stuff, I probably spent about £65 on actual food for the week. So this week we are going to be having chili wraps. If you've been here before, you'll know that these are a family favourite. But what I've done this week is gone for chicken mince, which I hadn't actually seen before. The minced beef, the 20% fat minced beef is £3.50, which is the cheapest 500 gram container that you can get from Tesco. And the 500 grams chicken was £2.50. So I don't know whether this is going to be a complete disaster, but we're going to try it anyway. I said the kids, I told the kids, they're like, oh. I was like, look, let's try it. And then if we don't like it, I'll go back to buying the beef. But fingers crossed that will be okay. We're also going to be having toad in the hole. I saw a recipe on TikTok for sausage and mash pie, which essentially was just chopped up sausages with carrots and onion in like a gravy with a layer of mashed potato over the top. And I thought, now it's getting cooler. I love those types of meals. And it's cheap, right? It's cheap, it's filling. There's something very nostalgic for me anyway about that type of food. Then I'm doing a chow mein. I'll probably do that with a curry. The old favourite, jacket potatoes. I could eat jacket potato every day. I think the kids are getting to the point where they're kind of over them. So I'm not sure how, like, in regular rotation they will be throughout the winter. But that's what we've got this week. Then I'm going to do a homemade pizza evening, and then a broccoli and cauliflower pasta in a homemade cheese sauce. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's right. For breakfast I bought some porridge oats, again because it's getting cooler, it's nice to have something warm. We've got granola and low-fat Greek yogurt, we've got toast, and then I'm going to be making the chocolate chip pancakes as well. And then for lunches, it's just going to be sandwiches or bagels or wraps. I did buy some gammon so that I could slice that up because it just works out so much cheaper than buying the ham. Unless I buy like the wafer thin ham, but then you don't get a lot in that, do you? And I always find you have to use quite a few like sheets. I don't know what the word is, what you would call it. Slices. Sheets. Quite a few slices of that wafer thin stuff to actually be able to taste it. So I think value wise, getting the gammon is so much nicer because you just use less of it. I do need to go and get some more fruit. I've got a lot of veg in the freezer. I've already bought potatoes for like side dishes and things like that. So I also am planning to make Erin a cake for her birthday. So I've already bought some like sprinkles and chocolate balls and things like that to decorate the cake with. I want to try and do that as close to her birthday as possible, but saying that, I just bought, I can say this because she's not going to watch this video and I know you're not going to tell. I bought one of the balloon arches, which I normally do for the kids, but this has got so many more balloons in than what I'm used to. Like there's so many and it's all vacuum packed, but I think it's going to look great once it's all up. And you know, she only turns 18 once, doesn't she? So I need to make sure that I don't leave the cake till the last minute because my Friday evening is going to be spent blowing up balloons. I'm pretty sure I've got a balloon pump somewhere that I need to find out. So that needs to be a priority because if there's one thing I hate, it's blowing up balloons. And I got like a cake topper from Etsy as well that's got her name and stuff on it. So yeah, it should be really nice. Most of the meals, the dinners, are dinners that are, you know, they just taste better when they're cooked and then eaten straight away. I mean, I could pre-cook the chili and I could pre-do the pizzas, but the rest of it I really want to make on the day. So I'm going to just we'll just go down the list in the morning every day and say, what do you fancy today? And we'll do it that way, I think. Right, so before I go and start doing all of my admin stuff on the computer that I'm planning to do today, let's go and get the dough started for the bagels. Let's get some pancakes made so they can go into the freezer and then I can start work. So the bagels then are so simple. If you like bagels, you'll never buy shop-bought bagels again. These are so simple to make. The recipe that I first used was on the BBC Good Foods. So I will link that down below. Now, honestly, I don't really follow it. I just throw the ingredients in. So I use the strong white flour from Tesco, but I have used plain flour in the past and they've turned out just fine. So you're going to need your flour, salt, sugar, and your yeast. I use this yeast. If you have sourdough starter, you know, you could also do it with that too. Sourdough bagels are delicious. But today we're just going to be doing the normal yeast bagels. So if you do decide to make them and you look on that website, it will say that you can make something like 8 to 10. I personally think that those are too small. I prefer to make 6 because if I'm going to have a bagel, I want to have a good sized bagel, you know? In fact, I have a couple in the freezer already. Let me grab one out. So these are the size of the bagels. If you do 6. These ones have got herbs and garlic in. The ones that I'm going to make today are just plain bagels. Whilst that dough is doubling in size, I'm going to have a quick cup of tea and then we'll quickly make some pancakes. So we managed to get 11 pancakes, which is great. The first one was far too big and a little bit wonky. They're all a bit wonky, if I'm honest. But you know what? That's what I love about cooking things at home. They're not perfectly circular. Some are bigger than the others. Like, it's fun. But the dough is nowhere near ready for the bagels. It's quite cold in here today, so I think that's going to take a while. So I'm going to crack on with work and then we will come back. Worst case, because I don't want to have to put the heating on, what I might do is make up a hot water bottle and then put it near to the dough just to give it a bit of heat and cheat basically. I'm not gonna lie, I completely forgot about these bagels. And now it's so dark. It doesn't look too dark on the screen, but it's so dark in here and it's freezing cold. So I've put my dressing gown on. I've made myself a hot chocolate in a Christmas mug because, well, frankly, who's gonna stop me? You know, I can't even tell you how cold it is in this house, but the bagels have risen. So we're going to get them in a pot of water, we're going to get them into the oven, and then we're going to call it a day. So these are the ones that have just been in the water. They are now huge compared to what they look like. So let's get the other ones done. Woo! Look at the size of these. Probably should have made 6. No, I made 6. Probably should have made 8 rather than 6. But never mind. Who doesn't love a massive, great big bagel? Just imagine these. These are not finished yet. They need to go in the oven to finish cooking. So imagine these loaded with soft cheese, smoked salmon if you're a bit fancy, some lettuce, some onion. Delicious. So while those are in the oven, I'm going to have a jacket potato because the kids have gone to their dad's tonight, so tonight is now jacket potato night. So I've already made it. I'm going with some cheese. I've probably made far too much cheese, if that's even a thing, and
I'm putting some spring onions on the top too, because I had some that I needed to use up, so why the hell not? And I'm going to sit down now and watch episodes of Miranda, because I just got the TV license back. And yeah, we'll come back when everything's ready. And there we have 6 bagels ready to go, well, when they're cooled down, into the freezer. So I'm going to finish this video here because the battery's about to go anyway. And thank you so much for watching, guys. Subscribe, like, comment. I'll see you next time. Bye.